Right then, it's Ask Lee Day. Okay, so I'm going to say it as per usual. If you've got a question for this slot, for this segment, leave it in the comments below and I will add it to the list. Alright, so today's question or questions, there's actually a couple that came from Deborah, and they're all related, so I'm going to put them together instead of separating them. So, is Lucifer a fallen angel? And I lost the second one. Hang on, here we go. Why do black occultists, for lack of better word, and please advise me on the proper term, hail Satan if there is no Satan? But is Satan not a being, a mixture of the elements perhaps? Why is Satan associated with goats and horns? Confuses me. Okay. Alright, so firstly, is Lucifer a fallen angel? That entirely and purely depends on your worldview. You know, in a Christian worldview, yes, Lucifer is a fallen angel. If you are more in line with Lucifer being the morning star and therefore Venus, the planet Venus, then you know, possibly not. However, Lucifer is also a title for many different gods and even goddesses. So you know, if in terms of the fallen angels, you know, Lucifer would be Azazel and Shemyaza, and a lot of people equate those together as being the same angel. And some will also equate Azazel, Shemyaza, as also being Samael. So it was also the serpent in the Garden of Eden. So it purely depends on your own worldview. And I can't say whether Lucifer in your worldview is a fallen angel or is not. If Lucifer in someone's worldview is a fallen angel, then it's a fallen angel. I can't argue with that. It's not my worldview, but it is some people's worldview, and therefore, yes, Lucifer is a fallen angel. And at the same time, no, Lucifer is not a fallen angel. There is no definitive answer to any of this. It all depends on a person's belief and how a person perceives things and understands things, and the path that they're following, the tradition that they're following. And none of it's right, none of it's wrong. There is no right or wrong, it's just how we view things. Anyway, alright, so let's get on to the next part. Why do black occultists, for lack of a better word, and please advise me on the proper term, hail Satan if there is no Satan? You can use the term black occultists, left-hand pathers, Satanists, demonolators, whatever it is. Left-hand pathers is probably the more broader term. Don't really like using it myself because it does separate us from, or it brings us into that one side of a duality. And you know, we're trying to get rid of the duality, well, here anyway. So why do they hail Satan if there is no Satan? Because for a lot of people there is a Satan. Satan is a title. Satan is also for some people an entity. Satan for Levian Satanists is just a concept. So again, like Lucifer, Satan is many things. So coming back to that, if you speak to a Levian Satanist, then it's just a concept. There is no divinity, there is no divine element, there is no divine aspect. It's you are God or Goddess. You are the only thing which is the creator, and therefore there is no divine intelligence, there is no divinity. Satan is really a concept. If you speak to a theistic Satanist, then yes, Satan is an entity and Satan is God. If you speak to a demonolator, Satan is usually considered to be the culmination of the 5 elements, spirit, ether, all. If you speak to me, I think that you as the magician are Satan. I am Satan, you are Satan. Everybody who creates their own reality is a Satan. So again, depends on who you talk to. There are lots and lots of different viewpoints, lots and lots of different worldviews, and none of them are right or wrong. They just are. Okay, so then we go on to, but is Satan not a being, a mixture of the elements perhaps? Okay, I just spoke about that also. Why is Satan associated with gods and horns? Okay, this, if you actually look at the representation of Satan, and I'm going to lump in Lucifer and devil here as well. In some depictions, Satan is merely a red being with horns and a forked tongue and a tail, a forked tail, a serpent's tail, or something like that, and sometimes hooved feet. But it's not always a goat. In fact, if we take the whole Christian ideology of the devil, of Satan, of Lucifer, then it's usually referring to the horned god as a whole, not just as the goat god, which is usually depicted as Pan or Azazel. So it's that horn god as a whole, and a lot of these horn gods are not goat gods. They are often, the goat of Mendes was actually the ram of Mendes, and a lot of the European pagan deities, the horn gods, were stags, and also, so as I'm trying to say, it's not just a goat. It's not just a representation of a goat god. The goat god is usually in association with Pan. And if you read Wind in the Willows, that was written in 1908. That was probably the earliest westernized depiction of Pan, but it's his name being taken away type of thing, because he's called the Piper at the Gates of Dawn. He is the guardian of the forest and the guardian of the wild animals and things like that. But as far as I know and remember, it doesn't actually name Pan as Pan in that book. But that's one of the earliest depictions in Western writing of this goat god, this being that is representation of a goat. Okay, my words muddled up here. Alright, so we have Pan, then we also have Azazel, who in Hebrew mythology was the scapegoat. And what would happen is they would send out a goat with all of the sins in, and it was an offering to the gods, or to Azazel, to take away the sins. So the goat was sent out as a scapegoat to remove the sins of the people and things like that. And there's a lot of lore surrounding Azazel and his demons in the desert, who were goat figures, goats themselves. So there's a lot of lore around the whole goat thing, but it seems to come from Arabic, Persian, that type of the Middle East area, and also from the Greek with Pan, the great goat god. But if you go into Europe, there's actually not that. I don't think there's that much of a depiction of the horn god being a goat. Obviously there are, but not as much. I think we kind of associate it with the whole goat thing because we see it in the media and things. But really, it is ram, stag, all creatures which are horned, not just the goat. The goat's just one single depiction. But when we also look at the depictions of Satan, Azazel, Shemyaza, Samael have been noted as being the serpent in the Garden of Eden that brought gnosis, that brought knowledge, that brought... Sorry, I got a bit interrupted there, so I'm just going to repeat a bit. Okay, so Satan as the serpent in the Garden of Eden was depicted as a serpent, and it was the entity that brought knowledge, gnosis, enlightenment, awareness to Adam and Eve, and therefore mankind, etc., etc. So this is very much in line with the Watchers, who brought skills and knowledge and such things to mankind to advance the species, the human species, quite quickly, quite fast actually. But yeah, I think it's a lot deeper than that, just that base assumption that Satan or the devil is purely depicted as a goat god. It's only one small part of the representations and the imagery which we find. Okay, I think that answers the question. So if you've got any more questions, then just let me know, obviously in the comments, and I'll add them to this segment. Alright, so I hope you have a good one. Cheers for now. Bye bye.